welcome back to UK360. Today we have Hamptons International Hong Kong to tell us about the London property market and foreseeing the future. So introduce yourself and what you do at Hamptons.
Sure. Hi, my name is Judith Choi. I'm one of the sales managers of Hamptons based in Hong Kong. Hamptons is part of the Connors Group. We're the largest estate agency in the UK. We have just over 90 local branches and we have international offices in Hong Kong, Dubai, UAE. So our team in Hong Kong is here to support Hong Kong families and investors to search for property in the UK. The majority of our team has spent some time in the UK and we've personally invested in the UK property market. So we would say that we quite understand the Hong Kong families' needs and concerns, and we're quite experienced with the local market.
So how would you overall describe the current behaviour in the UK market right now, and specifically in London?
I would say London is always very, very busy and transactional. A lot of the investors from overseas would choose London to invest, and we've seen parents buying property for their kids to live in while they study in the UK. So traditionally the central London is more popular, but we've seen a shift in the interest from renters and buyers since COVID, the pandemic. Their lifestyle, their work pattern has changed, and so a lot of the renters now actually look at areas slightly further out. So Zone 3 to Zone 6 are becoming more popular. The reason is because it's more affordable and they can get a bigger space. So from a 1-bedroom in central London, you can actually get a 2-bedroom in Zone 3 or 4. They would emphasize, areas that are close to public transportations with a good access of local amenities, grocery stores, eateries, and also they emphasize a lot of the green spaces and parks nearby.
What is the biggest challenge in the housing market right now?
I would say the lack of supply of new homes. The government target 300,000 new homes being built every year, but we've seen in the past 3 years only about 2/3 are being built. There's a lack of supply, and also a lot of the first-time buyers are struggling to get on the property ladder. The affordability challenges means that they can't buy, but they have to rent. So that means the rent is pushed up. So last year we've seen rent being pushed up by 17%, which is quite a significant increase.
And since there's so many new builds in London lately, do you think they're going to hold their value?
I would say it depends on the location. As with any property purchase, you always have to look at the location first. So in some of the desirable locations close to public transportation, I would say they definitely can hold their value pretty well. And also based on what people are looking for right now, if your new build is close to local amenities, parks and green spaces, then you don't have to worry about it. And also it depends on the quality of the build. Some of the developers are known as using better materials and their quality are better. So those ones are more likely to hold the values.
So what are some of the best neighborhoods around London for people to purchase, especially for people from Hong Kong?
I would say we really like the west, northwest London. We have a strong presence there with our local offices there. Traditionally, the West London is always popular because of the schools in the area, but of course, as it gets more and more expensive, people start to look slightly northwest of the London. Areas such as Colindale, the highest number of outstanding schools are in the Barnet area, which is where Colindale is in. Colindale is always known as the small Asia because of the Asian community there. You've got the Bang Bang Oriental Food Hall if you miss home. You've got the Long Fong Hong, which is an Asian grocery store. And then in Ealing, because there is a new Elizabeth Cross rail line, the station already opened last year. So with that new Elizabeth line, it means that you can access central London in only 15-20 minutes. And if you want to travel, then you can be in Heathrow in 15 minutes. So that it's a very highly accessible areas. So we really like these two areas.
So if people are interested in investing in property in London, especially first-time buyers, what kind of advice would you give them?
If you're a first-time buyer, I would say definitely first to identify your goals and motives behind property purchase. Why do you want to purchase a property in the UK? Are you looking for a sort of a passive income, which means you'll be looking for a long-term investment with good rental yields, or are you looking to build your wealth maybe for a retirement fund? Then that means you'll have to look for areas that has got a good capital growth, areas that's got a major infrastructure developments. So these different motives will mean that you may be looking for different types of properties. And I would also say that you can understand your finance options. Some people prefer to purchase in cash. Some people prefer to leverage. If you do want to leverage, then have an understanding of how much deposit you have to put upfront, what's your monthly repayment look like, and if you're investors, how much is your rental yield? Is it going to cover your mortgage?
So let's say people want to invest, now they need a property agent. What should they look out for when choosing a property agent?
I would say definitely look for someone that has a good understanding of the local market. So many of our teams have lived in London for many years. Some of them lived over 20 years. So we have a good understanding of what the actual area looks like, what are the schools in the area, what are the grocery stores, and also a good estate agent should be able to advise you on pricing negotiations, the house prices trends, and of course it's best if the agent is responsive. So one of the strengths that we would say with Hamptons is we have an office in Hong Kong and in London. So that means that we can respond to our customers' inquiries very promptly because we have both time zones.
So how could a buyer maybe maximize their purchase, whether they want to live in it or rent it out to someone?
I would say definitely have an understanding of the local area first. Often look at the house price trends in the past couple of years, maybe 5 to 10 years. Look at the sort of supply and demand in the area. How many new homes are in planning? How many new homes are going to be built in the next 5 to 10 years? How is the rental market look like? Who is your potential tenants? So for example, in Canary Wharf, your tenants would have to be professional young working tenants. In slightly further out, you might be looking for family tenants, and that means that you should consider different types of properties.
So for those who want to rent out their property, what are some good and bad signs of a tenant in London?
Some of the good signs definitely is the sort of employment status and income level. So as an estate agent, when we let and manage a property for our customers, we always do a credit history check and also the employment check. So if a prospective tenant has a stable job, stable income, then it's more likely that they're going to pay the rent on time. You understand if that prospective tenant has a good habit of managing their finances. And lastly, look at the sort of communication that you have with the tenant. Is the tenant responsive? Is the tenant sort of clear on what they want? And are they cooperative?
For the last question, where does Hamptons foresee the property market moving within the next 5 years, and how will you guys adapt to the changes?
I would say the London market is always going to be busy. There is some challenges in the short run, for example, the difficulty of getting on the property ladder for the first-time buyers. But in the long run, London is always perceived as an investment hub. It's a safe, transparent market, and anyone can buy in it. And London hasn't got the harsh taxes for overseas investors, which is a plus. So we think in the long run, definitely the London market is going to be more and more busy. And now it's actually quite a good time to get into the market because you can get quite a good deal.
Cool. Thank you so much for joining us today, Judith.
Thank you for having us.
Make sure to like and follow our UK360 page, and anything related to Hamptons International Hong Kong will be listed in the description. Bye!